Greetings, vinyl community. Welcome to a very, very special video. I've never done a turntable review with something that's new in the box, so I'm very excited about this. First things first, because I'm going to need both hands a lot in this video, insert joke. I'm sure there's a joke there somewhere. Insert it where you want in the comment section. Let's get this out of the way. Cheers, everyone. All right. First things first. It's my birthday today. Yay. How's that for self-congratulatory? But I couldn't think of something better to do than do an unboxing and do a review of a turntable that I've heard a lot about and something I've been very, very interested in trying out. We're going to get to that in 1 second. There's a lot of turntables right now in that mid-price price point. And this turntable is always in that conversation of something that's something you need to try out, something you need to at least investigate. The most asked question I get, bar none, is I'm new to vinyl, what should I buy? And like I said, there's a lot of turntables in that mix, in that mid-price price point. This one's always in that conversation. So I'm very interested to try this out today. Good for bad, and I'm going to give you an honest review of the Orbit Plus turntable. What happened, some brief background, is that because I was so interested in this turntable, I reached out to the fine folks at U-Turn, and they were very, very nice enough to send me one out to review and to try out. And we're going to do something a little bit different, where I'm not going to show you the setup. I'm going to unbox it, because why not? I've got the shot set up, so I gotta have to unbox it. But there's a lot of videos out there with the setup and whatnot, and maybe I'll take you through a little bit of the fine points just to help those out there. But I'm really, really interested in putting this turntable through the paces and getting as much listening time in as I can to give you an honest review of the Orbit Plus turntable. So what we're going to do now, my handy knife, we're going to open this up. Orbit, or U-Turn, sorry, the Orbit U-Turn Orbit turntable has been around since, I believe, 2012. It's and another reason why it's been very, very interesting to me is that it's American made. It's made in, I believe, Woburn, Massachusetts. So it's American made. Take that for what you want, but to some people that's very, very important. It's assembled in their factory in Woburn, Massachusetts. So let's get rid of that, and I'm going to do a quick unboxing of the Orbit Plus turntable. And I have to say, first of all, I want to say right now, before I even test this turntable, the customer service at U-Turn is some of the best customer service I've ever seen. Very fast response. If you ever have any questions, they're incredibly polite, incredibly responsive. So that's one plus right now for U-Turn, is they're amazing at customer service. So right now we got a card. We hope this turntable brings new life to your music. And if you need, okay, just like I was talking about, if you need any assistance, please call us or contact us. Very nice greeting for your turntable. And another reason, looks like I'm going to choke myself here. Another reason why I've been, sorry, I'm just going to fold this under here. There we go. Another reason why I've been very, very interested in this turntable is the use of acrylic platters, which this one has. We all know that I am a big fan of acrylic platters, and there it is right there. Very, very thick acrylic platter. You get your felt mat. Inside you got your RCA cables, some instructions how to set up, a nice little sticker for your turntable, which I will need for setup. I have no idea what color they sent me. Now I know. It's right there. Very nice dust cover. And let's see if I can take this out here to show you all before I do the setup and before I do the demonstration. Obviously, as you can see now, we have red. Very first impressions, and the thing that's really been interesting to me for U-Turn is how nice the turntables look. Very, very nice MDF plinth. So what we're going to do right now, and they're beautiful turntables, and that's, I mean, like I said, to a lot of people that's important. I have to, personally, I have to like the turntable I'm playing. There's the sound quality aspect of it, but there's also something that you need to look at it, and it makes you want to play vinyl. It draws you to it, and certainly this has it in spades. So what we're going to do now, we're going to end the video right now, or we're going to do a little edit, and I'm going to do a setup. Like I said, I'm going to skip all the fine points of the setup. I'll tell you a little bit more when we come back. Some of the details, some of the specs of the U-Turn Plus turntable. U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable, I want to get that right. All right, we're going to do an edit. We'll come right back. And we are back, and that was absolutely ridiculous. That was about 8-minute setup time, if that. So props to U-Turn for having a very, very easy turntable to set up. Because I've had a lot of experience setting up turntables in the past, maybe it came a little bit more naturally to me. But if you're one of those people who have sent me messages asking for recommendations, or if you've just stumbled across this video, I can't see it taking much longer than that. So props to U-Turn for having a very, very easy turntable to set up. And also props to U-Turn, maybe this is the way it is nowadays with turntables, I don't know, but they've included an extra belt with the Orbit Plus turntable, which is incredibly handy, so props to U-Turn for including an extra belt. We're going to be really quick running through the specs of this, but I do want to run through the specs for you all, because I'm really chomping at the bit, as someone would say. Well, I mean, someone would say that somewhere in the world. I'm going to say it today. I'm chomping at the bit to try this out. This has got some weight to it, so it's not cheap. It's got a nice slab of MDF, nice rubber legs on this, very, very nice dust cover. As you can see, they're very smooth. It's got a Ortofon OM5E cartridge, which is, you can swap it out very easily for something else. But because I've never tried out the Ortofon OM5E, I'm going to give it a little bit of play, try it out. This has got a counterweight, adjustable counterweight, obviously, but it's got an internal anti-skate, and it's got a built-in preamp, which today I'm going to bypass my preamp, and I'll try it with both, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to try it with the built-in preamp and run it through its paces that way, and to get a true reflection of how this is out of the box. Apart from that, nice thick acrylic platters. You can see there we got the felt mat, which we'll add onto it in a bit. Like I said, Ortofon OM5E cartridge. It's got an OA2 gimbal arm, and it's got, like I said, the external belt, which I've never tried before. So you just kind of move the belt over for 7-inch singles, or 45s, as some would call them, and you would switch it back for 33 1/3. I guess the purpose of the external belts would be it eliminates motor noise, improves speed consistency, etc., etc. That's the idea behind it. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna test that out. Overall, just a very, very nice turntable. I like how easy it is by looking at this to swap out the cartridge if I want. So you have that option, and like I said, very simplistic, on off. I don't know what more you could want. I'm really happy about the external belt. I'll be honest about that, because I've looked at a lot of new turntables, and the turntables that you have to take the platter off to change the belt, I'm really gun shy of those. And if you own one of those, no slight on you for liking those and owning one of those. I switch a lot in between 45s or 7-inch singles and 33 1/3. I swap consistently, so it's much easier just to flick it over than it is taking off the platter, in my opinion. So that is a big, big plus for me. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get right to this. We're gonna put this through its paces. We're gonna try out the U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. We'll be back.
evidence that the Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled extraterrestrial vehicles.
That's impossible.
All right, vinyl community, it's approximately 3 weeks later since we first saw the beautiful U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible, but still hit every point that I want to make for you, the viewer, who's clicked on this video. And if you've clicked on this video, thank you very much. We're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the bad. A little spoiler here. There's not a lot of downside to this turntable. We're going to talk about everything in between. But firstly, why 3 weeks? 3 weeks seems like kind of an arbitrary number, but if you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed that I've been throwing everything at this turntable, every genre, every style. I've been listening to this for a lot of hours and then some to give you, the viewer, the most informed opinion that I possibly can on the U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. After 1 week, didn't think I gave it enough time. After 2 weeks, I realized I was having a lot of fun with this turntable. And then 3 weeks came around and I realized I better get this video done. So here we are, 3 weeks later. And we're going to start with the good. Well, firstly, I want to give a big shout out to U-Turn for the quality control and just the build right out of the box. When I was dialing in the tracking force of this Orifon OM5E cartridge, it was only a fraction out from where it should have been. And everything was just great right out of the box. So I got to give a shout out to U-Turn for their attention to detail right out of the box. For a new vinyl listener, that's probably really important to have something that's really just ready to go right out of the box. So big up to you, U-Turn, for that. I've been listening to vinyl. Gonna throw out a random, actually it's not random. I've been listening to vinyl for probably over 30 years. I've had every kind of turntable possible. It's been a long time since I've had a fully manual turntable like this is. The U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable subscribes to the theory that a lot of turntables do nowadays of less is more. And it's very simple. You got on, off, you've got your external motor, you've got your belt. I mean, it's, you come home from work, boom, you're listening to vinyl. And that's a big up for new vinyl listeners, is that it's just very simple. But I wasn't sure how I was going to like that aspect of it. But I have to say it was really refreshing. It was just refreshing to come home from work, boom, I'm done. I'm listening to vinyl. So, I mean, to that end, that's a huge plus. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about is for the new vinyl listener, because that is a lot of questions I get is about what turntable should I buy when I'm new to vinyl. So a lot of this will be directed at that. If you're an experienced vinyl listener, some of this will not resonate with you. But having said that, very refreshing just to have a very simple turntable, on, off, done. That was a big up. I had a lot of fun. I have to say, I got a lot of really positive comments on Instagram while posting records about how good it looks. So it looks good. My next point I want to talk about is you guys know that I'm a big fan of acrylic turntable platters. And value for the money you get, and that's a huge plus with this turntable. You get a nice, big, thick acrylic turntable. The sound response off this is just, it's amazing. To get this kind of platter for the money you pay for this turntable is just incredible. So that's another big up for the U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. The motor, it's maybe the quietest turntable I've ever owned. There's no motor noise, no rumble. I mean, it's just an amazing build for what you get. Another point I want to make is that I'm not an Orifon kind of guy, but Orifon OM5E is a perfect match for this turntable. And we're going to get to what possible upgrades you could do later on in this video, so just hang tight. But I was amazed at how well paired the Orifon OM5E is with this turntable. As you saw with the music clips, there's a lot of punch to this turntable. And the cartridge, like I said, maybe I might switch over to Orifon, who knows. But big plus for that. It's really well paired. A lot of punch. The high ends are really good in jazz music. I found this turntable responded really well for electronic music. Just a lot of punch there. So that's a huge plus for this turntable. Like I said, the internal preamp I want to talk about, because I tried it with and without, and this Orbit Plus turntable, you get, and I'm looking at it right now. This is what I'm looking down at. You get an internal preamp. Works amazingly well, I should say. So that's a huge plus for the new vinyl listener, even the intermediate vinyl listener. You don't want to fiddle with preamps. You get one pre-installed. I'm pressing the button right now, actually. It's that easy. Done. It's on. So there's no worry about having to get an external preamp to what amplifier you're using, what receiver you're using, etc., etc. It's all right here. Like I said, I tried it with, I tried it without. For the video clips you saw of the music playing, that was all with the internal preamp on. So, and you have to excuse me for 1 second. It wouldn't be one of my videos without cheers, everyone. So cheers. So, the internal preamp, an amazing add-on, which goes towards the value for the money. You get a nice big slab of MDF, very solid turntable. You get nice rubber feet, nice absorption. Just a really, really nice turntable. If there's any negative I have to say about the turntable, and this might just be for someone who's a little bit more experienced of a listener, I found the counterweight a little bit finicky to play with. It's not a dial type counterweight. You have to actually unscrew this slightly, this little piece right here, and then you have to dial it back in, and then you have to screw it back in, and you have to play with it slightly, and you have to get used to it, I guess is what I'm trying to say, to dial it right in. I wanted to dial this right into the recommended tracking force, although I did find it a little bit heavier to be more to my liking. But it just takes a little while to get used to screwing it and then holding it in place. It's a bit finicky, but that's a little bit nitpicky. But you know, if I were to add an improvement, I would have a screw-on counterweight. But like I said, that's not here nor there. Apart from that, I didn't really have a lot of negative to say, or I don't have a lot of negative things to say about this U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. You guys all know me. I say it like it is, and if I had anything that I didn't like about this turntable, I would probably be right up front and tell you. One other thing that I found really, it took a bit to get used to, is the belt. You have to move the belt. And I think I said this off the top of the video, is that if you're a new vinyl listener, or if you're maybe an intermediate vinyl listener, you might not switch between 7-inch or 45s, as we used to call them when we were kids, and 12-inch vinyl, and you got to move the belt every time. And I switch between all the time. It's 7-inch, 12-inch, 7-inch, 12-inch, and I found that sometimes a little bit cumbersome. And there is a little bit of an art to moving it without the belt slipping, and maybe that's because I'm old and a little bit shaky. I don't know. But anyways, I think that's an acquired art. But I think if I think that's, like I said, that's a little bit of a nitpicky thing. Is that just takes a little bit to get used to. If you're so used to the internal belt or something like that. Anyways, it wouldn't, or a direct drive I guess is what I'm trying to get at. If you're used to that, then that wouldn't, you might have problems with that. But kids nowadays, they have an Xbox controller or PS whatever controller with 12,000 buttons, and they can control them all at one time. So I don't think this will be too much of an issue for them. So one more time. Cheers, everyone. For the price point, just an amazing build. It's like I said, it's American made. Once you get used to the external belt, if you're not used to that, and if you can just dial this in, it's good to go. It's plug and play. It's your internal preamp. You're on. You're ready to go. The tracking was great. Like I said, low to no motor noise. I was just amazed at that, and just solid, thick slab of acrylic for your platter, and the MDF, and your nice rubber feet for absorption. And you know what? You get what you pay for, and you get a lot with the U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. I was really impressed. In fact, if I didn't feel the need to get this video done, I'd still be using this as my #1 turntable, as something that's refreshing, that's a little bit different from my Moran 6200, which is my main table, which is a lot more, if you're familiar with that turntable, there's 1,000 little features on it to fiddle with. But this is just really refreshing, I have to say, and I really enjoyed it. I want to say a big thank you to U-Turn for supplying this for review. It's and like I said, if there was any major downside, I would tell you. But the build's amazing. Like I said, I think this is this is in that medium. They have the U-Turn, I think, Orbit, and then they have one. This one kind of sits in the middle of their price points, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, like I said, it comes with the acrylic platter, the internal preamp. You get the Orifon OM5E, and it's just for the value for the money, you can't lose. Like I said, the quality control is incredible. Their customer service is great, and I love this turntable. I have to absolutely admit to you, I love this turntable. Like I said, a few little things here and there. If you wanted to upgrade, I guess, while I'm still rambling here, if you're an intermediate vinyl listener and you want to do some upgrades, any possible upgrades I would make is maybe, since the Orifon seems to be such a good match to this turntable, I'd maybe try an Orifon 2M Red, see how that flies, and maybe you might want to think about upgrading the RCA cables. But apart from that, I mean, you can't lose. I would just maybe upgrade the cartridge if you're more of an experienced listener, and you're good to go. So, like I said, it took a lot to get used to. Amazingly, for something so simple, it was just a lot to get used to for something so simple. You're used to I'm used to fiddling anyways. That's how I am with my turntable. But this is just, it's plug and play. And like I said, big up to U-Turn for helping me out with this review, and big up to U-Turn for just having amazing quality control and just an amazing turntable for the price point. If you're a new vinyl listener, or you're just getting into vinyl, like I said now a couple times now, I get a lot of questions. Consider this turntable when you're considering maybe your first or your second turntable. It's an amazing buy for the money. So there you have it. That is my review of the U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. Plus, you know what? Something that a lot of people don't factor in, like I said, this is, I might have said this already, a lot of comments on Instagram was how nice it looks. And that's kind of, you have to love your turntable to turn it on. You have to like it, and it's a very nice looking turntable. It almost begs to be played. So to that extent, it's just a very nice looking turntable, and a lot of people commented on Instagram how nice it looks. So I mean, like anything, like any hobby, you have to like the equipment you're using for you to do that hobby. And this is just a beautiful looking turntable, and I highly recommend it. So, if, like I say, if you're looking for a beginner, intermediate turntable, consider this U-Turn Orbit Plus turntable. And I don't mean to ramble on so much here, but there you have it. Like I said, I had a lot of fun with this turntable, and I look forward to having a lot more fun with this turntable. So that's it. That's my review. Leave a comment below. Subscribe, like, all that, smash that like button, all that stuff the professionals say. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of people have this turntable, and they were looking forward to this review, to what I would say about it. So there you have it. This is what I have to say. Leave a comment below. Like or dislike, don't matter to me. It's all good. So like I said, there you go. Nazz Nomad or David Michael, take your pick what name I want to use this week. Anyways, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.